Keeping up with the Kardashians. There's Cassandra, Claudia, Karen, Timothy. Here's the honest truth. I have never in my life seen an episode of this show not on mute at my nail salon. But I know every single Kardashian and their name. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't. It's like how British people know who Princess Eugenie is. I told you in a previous video that I had some lukewarm tea, which was actually an idea stolen from me. That's tea for another time. When I started the Ask a Mortician series, lo these many years ago, right away I got multiple offers, some incredibly silly, some surprisingly legit, to turn it into a television show. One of the production companies I met with was Bunham Murray, whose most famous show is Ball in the Family.
100 million on the line, that's a fact.
Now, it's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And in our meeting, we were talking about their other shows and crossover potential, and I suggested, sort of as a joke, because this is ridiculous, that I could do funeral planning with the Kardashians. Like, go help them pick out caskets and plots and face their own mortality. And they, Bunham Murray, loved it. We never made a show with me. Can you imagine the alternate reality where I had an E-show in 2013? That is a dark timeline. But, like 10 months later, this episode, called Tales from the Kardashian Crypt, crypt with a K, aired. So, yes, they appear to have lightly purloined my idea for a Kardashian episode.
100%.
Do I care? Not at all. I was concerned that the whole Kardashians plan their death episode would be like what one of the lesser plots ended up being, which is an incredibly contrived conflict, where Kim and Kris learn that if Kourtney dies, they don't get custody of her child. Khloe gets custody of her child. Why do I feel high? We're not gonna talk about that because meh. But you know what? There is some good stuff. I saw Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom at a sushi restaurant once. That is neither here nor there.
I mean, I think it's like appropriate to get a little fish.
Ah yes, I forgot that there is an excruciatingly long B-plot about buying a child a fish that I will mostly ignore.
Can I ask you a really crazy question and you won't think it's weird?
Yeah.
It's almost 3 minutes in, and Kris is talking to her mother about end-of-life planning. I love this. The phone call goes on for a while, too.
So you can have multiple people buried there?
Yes, you can if they're cremated.
But what if you don't get cremated? I'm not sure I like this whole cremation situation.
There's a lot of detail in this conversation. First, we're talking about burial plots that hold cremated remains and urns versus burial plots that hold whole bodies. As cremation is becoming more popular, you're seeing cemeteries say, okay, your family bought a whole burial plot 20 years ago. Okay, you can put 4 urns of cremated remains there, or you can put a whole casketed body plus 3 urns. We've also learned that Kris Jenner is wary of cremation. I don't know if this is entertaining television, watching another family talk through their end-of-life plans, but I tell you what, I like this representation and normalization on television.
You're fishy! Oh my goodness!
More fish plotline.
Hey, you
This is
hold
your
that.
friend. Hold it.
Spoiler, the fish is going to die. The episode has a theme, folks.
Maybe we should get these 12 plots or 25 plots or however many people it adds up to.
Credit to Kris here. She really seems to understand the assignment. This is like a PSA on end-of-life planning.
Have you been feeding your fishies?
Dead.
Did you
Told you it was gonna
feed
die.
them today?
Okay, I guess we're not going to ignore the fish story. Quiet, Chloe. This is a real question I have for people who work in this space, this scripted, unscripted reality television show space. I know the child custody plot was fake, but did the producers kill this small boy's fish to make it work with the death episode? Is it a fake dead fish?
It looks like
Oh, good. They're taking a picture of the fish in the toilet.
Perfect photo.
That's-
So we flush
Got that.
This family loves photos.
Oh,
Close the toilet.
I really want to work out with this entire family about what we would ever do
I thought you meant like group workouts.
if
That's so fun.
if somebody passed away.
I think this is the only time that Kylie and Kendall appear in this episode. Can you imagine a time when they weren't cash cows of the whole thing? When they were just like secondary child characters?
What's the right decision? You get in a coffin, you get in the ground. What do you want me to do?
I just made the same face Chris did.
Something weird is up. Tell me what color you want. Tempur-Pedic? What kind of pillow tops you want in there?
Okay, well, you guys can make fun of me all you like.
Chris is trying to get everyone on board with this whole death planning thing, and they are being very rude, which is not uncommon. Rudeness in this situation is a defense mechanism against a really uncomfortable conversation. Usually when your family members are resistant, the first time you talk to them is not the charm. You have to make multiple inroads because just confronting someone with a conversation about a corpse or a body or your death is not going to be pleasant for them. Little small inroads over a period of time is my advice to Chris and you all.
Really, wouldn't it be great if we had like a Kardashian Jenner?
Odom, Disick.
Not Odom Disick. Hindsight's 20/20 on that one.
No. Ooh, the funeral business. Now there you could extort us. Yeah, let's make some commissions on those plots, baby. Yeah.
Chloe seems very aware of the funeral industrial complex. Funeral business. I'm now gonna start calling it the funeral business. Thanks, Chloe. Kim getting papped at the fish store. Fish plot continues apace. Hollywood Forever! They're going to Hollywood Forever.
I came across one called Hollywood Forever.
Tyler Cassidy! Tyler Cassidy! Tyler Cassidy! Tyler Cassidy, it needs to be understood, is a legend. He is a cemeterian, that means a cemetery owner, and he has a wild backstory that includes family scandals, financial, political scandals. He may have been the inspiration for 6 Feet Under, but he also revitalized a green cemetery in Marin. He revitalized Hollywood Forever when it was incredibly decrepit. He is a visionary. Fun story, first time I met Garrett Watts, fellow YouTube person, now friend, he was like, I'm really into death. And I was like, oh, that's great. Yeah, we should all be into death. And then he goes, let's talk about Tyler Cassidy. Can we talk about Tyler Cassidy? And I went, all right, young man, that is a legitimate deep cut. And I am impressed.
Want to sort of gift you guys with where we're going to end up for the rest of our lives.
I don't know.
That's really funky reaction music. That was quite a transition. I want to buy you plots in a cemetery.
You could buy a whole wall. So like we could buy that wall for 28 people and that wall for 49. I'm emotionally
At Hollywood Forever, that's millions of dollars worth of wall mausoleums. Like millions of dollars of future corpse cupboards. But I mean, it's the Kardashians, right? Money is relative. Kim's vampire facial is probably my yearly salary, right?
Yeah.
I'm into the mausoleum.
Kim's into the mausoleum.
We want our own lake with a
So they want their own lake with a mausoleum. You're probably expecting me to say they should consider green burial or composting or aquamation. And most families, I would probably try to steer them in that direction. But the Kardashians, a huge marble faux mausoleum at Hollywood Forever by the lake, just obnoxiously huge. It's kind of the vibe for the Kardashians. Picture this. The year is 2245. An archaeologist studying the ruins of Los Angeles. What tells them more about the time period, gives them a sense of truth of our age, than a mausoleum full of Kardashians?
And we want like a moat, so like no one could steal our bodies ever.
I think Chloe and Kim.
Okay, this seems incredibly silly, but again, if it were another family, not Kim Kardashian and company, I would say that a fear of body snatching or your body being stolen is not a really relevant fear. It's not Burke and Hare times. I remember a friend of mine went before a cemetery board to try and convince them to add a green burial section, and the board went, We can't just bury bodies straight in the ground. What about body snatching? No one's gonna steal your body unless you're Kim Kardashian. Like, if she were to die young, which I hope that she does not, she would be kind of an Eva Peron situation. So, hate to say it, but maybe cremation or aquamation is it for you, my friend.
Each person, if they had their own section, like this could be Chloe's section, and she could go all the way up with like full burials, or she could have like 100 cremations over here. And this could be Kim, and that could be Rob, and then...
I mean, again, this is a great idea. You'd expect me to be against this, but
I don't know, I just feel like...
here we are. Okay, fish plot is back. Caitlyn Jenner swoops in here. I'm not going to show her because this was before she announced her transition, but this scene is sort of good.
I got Mason a fish as his first pet, and it keeps on dying. And so he, like, doesn't know what death means.
Well, you can still explain it to him.
Not really. Can't really understand that.
Honestly, I think he can learn a very good lesson by saying, you know what? The fish went to heaven, and explain it that way. There's books on the subject, kids' books about death. I mean,
There are kids' books about death.
should be upfront with the guy. There's life, there is death, there's, you know, fishies go to heaven.
Fish go to heaven.
Okay, Caitlyn, that is, I don't know quite about pushing the heaven. I stick to more like very practical stuff when talking to kids, but that is not a bad take. I still feel like the entire fish subplot is staged from start to finish, but tell Mason the truth. The fish is dead. I saw someone at my local coffee shop this morning wearing a Caitlyn for California shirt. I'll just leave it at that.
Hello. I heard through a few sources that you made the most beautiful custom caskets in the city.
Custom caskets. Kardashian custom caskets. That's too many Ks. That's KKK. As your funeral advisor for your funeral business, I advise against that name.
Is there any way we can take it for like a little spin or a
What do you
test drive?
mean?
Could I lay in it?
Carpe diem. Memento mori. Get in the casket, Chris.
Seeing my mom in the casket is just such a weird thing to look at. She's all serious. It's making me uncomfortable, and I really don't want to like think about that.
That's actually...
Rob, I'm sorry. Death comes to us all, my man. Just let your mom hang out in the casket. She's so excited.
Trying to play along and make it funny, but it's not funny and it's not playful. And that coffin place was so just like overboard.
I don't think she's like realizing we've already lost a parent and we don't want to think about losing another one. It's a scary thing to think about.
We just are like really bothered, but it's because we love you. So
this is a valuable conversation. Like, on one hand, the person openly, honestly planning for death is always right, objectively. However, anytime that you're having a conversation about death, you have to meet your family members where they are. And as Chloe said, their father died, so it's going to make it much harder for them to talk about death. Although, we have no idea if this is scripted, so it's possible that Chloe and Rob do not give a rat's butt one way or the other, and this is just part of the conflict arc of this particular episode.
Rob took this picture of you, and it looks like how you would look if you were really deceased.
Oh, wow. That's a little frightening.
This intervention they are having over Chris being addicted to death planning is hilarious and relatable. Sometimes I wonder if I am addicted to death planning. My strange addiction. This is now occurring to me, Galaxy Brain. In the main plot, Chloe and Rob are upset with Chris. In the fish arc, Courtney is upset. And then in the child custody plot that I mentioned earlier, Kim and Chris are upset. So it's just 3 plots where everyone gets their opportunity to be dramatically upset about something. Yeah, that's reality TV 101. I'm acting like I cracked the case here. Okay, well, there we go. Other than the intensity of the kids being upset by mom's death planning, I think it's a good conversation starter. I think it's not bad. Do you remember when Kanye West got Kim a hologram of her dead father for her birthday and had the hologram say that Kanye was a genius.
You married the most genius man in the whole world.
That's one of my favorite things that has happened. I want to start a series on this channel where I talk to celebrities about their death plans. Where will I source my celebrities? I don't think I've ever actually met a celebrity. Not just like, I live in LA, so I've seen them across the parking lot at the Grove and stuff, but really met one? Alan Cumming. I was on a panel with him. Just classy as heck, that guy. This video was made with generous donations from death enthusiasts just like you. Today, I thought that we would talk about some of my favorite YouTube channels right now. I am a 36-year-old woman who watches a whole lot of YouTube. We're back. Again, let's get extremely comfortable. Here we are. That's the left ear. Don't you dare put that in your right ear. Okay, let's open it up and go. Of course, there's a immediate helicopter. Moving right along, footloose and fancy free. Is there a fire? There's a fire outside. Well, it's California in May, so good luck. Would you like to swing on a star? Chris. Forget about it. Just look plaintively into the distance. Mall mausoleums. That's fun. I want to live at the mall when I die. Thanks, I hate it. Trying it out. Okay, I think that's it skis. Let's check the footage. Oh, my leg is asleep. Oh, I did it. Oh, now I've done it. Oh, jeez. Oh gosh. Oh, heavens. Help me, Jesus.